Tonight on News 5 Live, the Port of Belize Limited takes the Christian Workers Union to court. We'll tell you why a suit has been brought against the waterfront workers. A Belizean American alleges that he was extorted in Mexico. We'll show you how a news interview led to the return of all the items taken from him. A $264 million expansion project to the PGIA. And where this said, Destiny Wagner introduces a new card game on Belize on Reel. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Hey, babe, I need some cash.
Okay, right now transfer some.
Short on cash? Make up the difference with V-Bucks. Transfer V-Bucks quickly and easily. Enjoy your shopping experience at V-Mart or any other Benny's entity and get rewarded today.
Mom, nothing fast, but how you do that just now?
V-Bucks?
V-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
From Corozal to Toledo, Belize is a melting pot of cultures. Travel with us as we take you to a different part of the country each week in a special series called This is Our Belize, People, Food and Culture, brought to you by the Belize Tourism Board. Starting March 15th, watch the episodes on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. on the National Channel and the Belize Hotel Association channel, and at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 5, and Fridays on Love TV at 7:30 p.m. Episodes will also premiere on Thursdays on the Belize Tourism Board's Facebook page and YouTube channel. This is Our Belize, People, Food and Culture.
Buenos días. 2 boletos para Ficacas, por favor. Ida y vuelta.
54. Ese dinero es falso.
¿Falso?
Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad avantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de $20, $10, $5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro, conozca su dinero.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, March 30th. I am Sabrina Daly. Everyone will recall when the stevedores, most if not all of them being members of the Christian Workers Union, staged a strike against their employer, the Port of Belize Limited, in February of 2022. The industrial action resulted from a number of issues that the stevedores and the CWU had with the port. The Ministry of Labor had to intervene before the stevedores returned to work 8 days later. PBL took the CWU to court on grounds that the industrial action was an illegal one. The matter went to trial today before Supreme Court Judge Genevieve Chabot. One of two attorneys for the PBL, Hector Guerra, told News 5 that the case that the PBL has brought against the CWU and the stevedores is not a common one in Belize.
The CWU and its members, and in particular the stevedores, had engaged in a strike in which they said we wouldn't unload and load any containers. So this morning saw the commencement of the trial in the matter. The trial and our claim is really one that involves what's called a tortious action. It's a unique claim in Belize, and it's for unlawful interference, unlawful with economic interests. So in essence, Port of Belize is saying, hey, CWU and members, you've engaged in an illegal strike, and as a result, you prohibited us from being able to serve our customers, and as a result, we've suffered economic loss, damages. The damages run to about approximately $250,000, and it emanates from the fact that the port really was unable during that period to service ships which were scheduled to call and to unload and load.
Attorneys for the stevedores and the CWU raised a preliminary point of law on the argument that they enjoy statutory immunity and that they can't be subjected to legal action under the law. But as Guerra explains, the PBL has a very different view on that argument. The matter was adjourned until later in May to give the judge ample time to consider the weighty arguments put before her today. If the judge finds at that point that the CWU and the stevedores enjoy statutory immunity, then there won't be a need for a full trial. If she rules in favor of the PBL, however, then a full trial with witnesses giving testimony will follow that ruling.
Our position is that argument is fundamentally flawed, because while we concede that in certain instances you do in fact enjoy statutory immunity, but only if the strike action was done in a legal fashion. So for example, there is a settlement of disputes in Essential Services Act in Belize, which requires a union and its members to first advise a minister of industrial industrial issues that they're having with their employers. That's important. Why? Because you have an essential service such as stevedoring, yes? And so it would not be prudent if they can simply decide that they'll strike from a day-to-day basis for the economy, because the economy would clearly suffer. As a result, Parliament in its wisdom has said, okay, stevedores, you can strike, but only if, after giving the minister notice of your dispute, the minister hasn't, within a period of 21 days, referred your dispute to what's called the Essential Services Tribunal, which is a tribunal that's then triggered by the minister by way of a notice of reference, in which the minister says, tribunal, these are the issues that are the employer and the employees can't get along with, and as a result, I'm asking you to please resolve this. At the time, that tribunal had in fact been triggered within the 21-day period that I'm saying, and so the tribunal was actively hearing the CWU's complaints, and in fact ultimately issued a ruling which was in the CWU's favor. Despite all of that, the CWU decided that it would engage in industrial action. Clearly, logically, we're saying that that strike was not lawful, and as a result, you can't enjoy any statutory immunities. And as a result, number two, you engage in a strike not in good faith.
The Christian Workers Union is being represented by attorneys Darrell Bradley and Magali Perdomo. On Tuesday night, Belizean American Eduardo Usher was traveling through Escarcega, Mexico, when he was allegedly extorted by Mexican police. Usher spoke to a local TV station in Mexico immediately following the incident, where he recounted on camera what took place. He alleged that the officers informed him that his vehicle did not have permission to travel through Mexico and that he would be detained. Usher says he produced the requisite document and even phoned his agency to confirm he did in fact have the authorization to travel through the country. Notwithstanding the documents he produced, Usher alleges that the officers searched his pocket and took 3,000 pesos from him. Here is a clip from the interview with Usher. We also spoke with Oscar Arnold, Belize's ambassador to Mexico, about the situation.
They put their hands in my pocket and took my money, and they took away my keys and all my papers. They then put me in their truck, and then they wanted $200. So they made me open my bank account, and since I was not able to do the transaction, they said 3,000 pesos was not enough. So they saw a 50-inch TV in the vehicle, and they said they will take the TV. I refused, and they then said they would detain me. They even threatened to punch me. I was very frightened because I was alone.
We were made aware of the situation. I believe it was late, if not yesterday evening, the day before. We did not receive an official complaint or anything official from Mr. Usher, but I believe a friend of his or a family member sent us the clip that was done by TV Escarcica. Without having a contact number for him, we reached out to the station manager of TV Escarcica, and they provided limited details for us because they didn't have, for example, a badge number or the license plate of the official who allegedly did the act. But what he informed me was that because of the action of putting it on the media and putting it out there, that Mr. Usher was able to receive assistance and that he was able to get back his property, and that several other residents came out to support him and make sure that he was well on his way before anything bad happened or anything other than what he said in the video took place. There were some disturbing statements that were made in there that made us very nervous and worried, because we don't want our nationals to become targets or to be targeted. And so it is something that we will be looking at with the state authorities as well.
Coming up, Cabinet meets to discuss impact of inflation. Find out the details when we come back.
My name is Vonetta Thompson, BWS Customer Services Manager. BWS is launching a new billing system effective April 1st, 2023. Utility Management Solutions, UMS, was purchased from a company, Continental Utilities Solution, Inc., or CUSI. It is one of the latest technologies in customer information systems and utility billing applications. This new system will allow BWS to become more efficient, which transforms into improved service to our customers. There will be a change in the account numbers. On the present bill, the customer account number displayed contains 9 or 11 digits. With the new billing system UMS, the account number will now consist of 12 digits. A web portal will be available in the future where customers can view their usage, bill, and payment history, as well as initiate requests such as meter tests and high bill review. Customers will keep the same account number for as long as they keep their service active with BWS. Customers will be able to register their credit cards and make payments directly to their account. At BWS, we continue to improve our service to become more efficient for you, our valued customers.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
Live your best life and explore more with Samsung. Go on an adventure, travel in style, and capture your memories with a Galaxy. This month, Samsung phones start at an extremely low price of only $309, and Galaxy Tab start at only $399. The full Galaxy lineup includes the A03, A04, A23, A33, A53, S20 FE, Z Flip, Z Fold 4, Tab A7, and the latest and most innovative release, the S23 series. Perfect for capturing all of life's adventures. Plus, when you buy any A-series device, you'll get a free 32GB SD card. Shop these awesome devices at any of Samsung's authorized resellers countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Quartz, and Odette's Home Center, and get 1-year local warranty with your purchase. So venture out and explore more with Samsung.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
The Belize Tourism Board is looking for a catchy and creative jingle for its Civic Pride campaign. The campaign promotes values such as pride and appreciation for Belize, no littering, respect for our national anthem and flag, and protection of our resources, to name a few. Qualifying jingles must be 30 to 45 seconds long in MP3 format. The lyrics should be primarily in English, but can include phrases from other cultural groups in Belize, and must include the words civic pride and Belize. Jingles will be judged based on creativity, originality, musical talent, overall quality, clarity, and compliance with competition rules and guidelines. The winner of the jingle competition will receive a cash prize of $3,000. You have until April 17th, 2023 to email your jingle to pr@belizetourismboard.org. For rules and guidelines, call 227-2420, visit BTB's Facebook page, or email us at pr@belizetourismboard.org.
On Wednesday, the Statistical Institute of Belize released quarterly figures for the period ending March 31st, one day after the Briceño administration met to discuss the impact of global inflation on the country. Steep increases in cost of goods and services are being felt at all levels of Belizean society. And following a cabinet discussion on Tuesday, it has been agreed that meetings would be held with wholesalers as well as retailers to ensure that the importance of the situation is understood by all. This is with a view to regulate the cost of goods and services, to establish the practice of store inspections and monitoring as suggested by the unions, and to revise the existing list of basic commodities so as to expand the number of items that are price controlled.
The cumulative inflation rate for the first 2 months of the year of 2023, when compared to the same period of the year of 2022, stood at 6.5%. This means that overall, the average cost of regular purchased goods and services increased by 6.5% for the period. Now, before we look at the major categories affecting the cumulative inflation rate of 6.5%, let's first look at the National Consumer Price Index, which summarizes all categories of goods and services, with our main emphasis being the first 2 months of the year 2023, we can see how prices overall had an increase from January to February. This increase was mainly contributed to higher restaurant services and food prices. Now, looking at the same period for the year of 2022, we can also see the same trend of the year 2023, where prices increased from January to February. But when we compare both periods, the prices in the year of 2022 were not high enough. So that's why when comparing both periods, an increase of 6.5% is reported. While prices rose across all types of food items, the increase in this category was mainly to higher prices for cereal products, meats, cooking oils, dairy products, and fresh fruits and vegetables. Looking at the table, we can see that majority of the items had an increase by more than 10%, specifically flour, egg, vegetable oil, watermelon, tomatoes, onion, Irish potato, sweet pepper, soy sauce, and coconut milk.
In a previous cabinet meeting held earlier this year, Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai was tasked with heading a working group to look at the issue of price gouging that exacerbates the effects of inflation on local consumers. A master plan to upgrade and expand the Philip Gosen International Airport was also reviewed by Cabinet earlier this week. The comprehensive strategy to modernize the PGIA was requested by government and was put together on behalf of the Belize Airport's concession company by Infrata Airport Consultants, a company based in the United Kingdom. Improving the facility will come in at a price tag of $264 million. The first phase of the project is already underway with the construction of a new airport access road. Also in the pipeline is the expansion of the terminal building, the construction of a larger aircraft apron, as well as a new eastern taxiway, parking facility, and airport safety equipment. Cabinet has since given the go-ahead for the non-Belizean airport development fee to be adjusted. This will serve to finance the new investments based on projected growth in passenger and aircraft traffic through to 2045. The results of the latest population census are expected to be released later this year. The exercise, which concluded in January, is being finalized before the official figures, following the national count, are published by the Statistical Institute of Belize. Diana Castillo-Trejo is the Acting Director General at SIB.
We completed data collection in January, around mid-January. Right now what we are doing is some final cleaning up in the field. We are doing some very limited revisits to a few households that we need to revisit, and we are preparing for data processing. Data processing of hundreds of thousands of records takes a while. So we are preparing for that. We expect to be doing the data processing, and this includes also making estimations for households that we were not able to reach. Maybe we went and nobody was there, and after repeated visits we couldn't get in contact with them. So we'll have to make adjustments for things like that, and all of that is a part of the processing of the data, and the final estimates we expect to publish by the end of September this year.
The port at Commerce Bight in Stan Creek District has been deserted for quite a number of years. But the Briceño administration is now looking at ways in which economic activity can be revived in that part of the country. Earlier this week, Cabinet discussed the development of a passenger port and marina at the location and has established a ministerial subcommittee led by Anthony Muller, Minister of Tourism and Diaspora Relations, and Michelle Shabat, Minister of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance. Together, they will study the feasibility of developing a passenger port and marina at Commerce Bight. On Monday, during an appearance on Open Your Eyes, Prime Minister John Briceño spoke briefly on the issue.
As it is right now, we have the Commerce Bight port that has been abandoned, and yes, in Dangriga. And so, what the area representative he has been doing, and with lots of consultation for the past year and a half, they are trying to see how they could not convert that into a cruise port, but for smaller ships. Remember, what drives tourism, not the cruise tourism, you know. It is the overnight stay. So we have to be very careful. We have to find that balance.
Cabinet, during its weekly meeting on Tuesday, has decided that Belize will cite Article 226A of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, which will allow Minister of Immigration Eamon Courtney to immediately impose a visa requirement for Haitians wishing to travel to Belize. It will also require Jamaican nationals to provide evidence of fully paid, non-refundable hotel reservations prior to boarding flights to Belize. These changes come about after a full discussion on the increasing number of visitors who are using Belize as a transit point to reach the United States. Furthermore, a ministerial task force has also been established to address the unchecked smuggling that is taking place in this regard. After the break, Wea de Se, the official card game of Belize. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Buenos días. 2 boletos para Kikakar, por favor. Ida y vuelta.
54. Ese dinero es falso.
¿Falso?
Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad avantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de 20, 10, 5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro, conozca su dinero.
The last time we visited Miss Francesca Howers was to deliver the exciting news that she was chosen to receive a home sponsored by SMART for its 18th anniversary through the Hand in Hand Ministries housing program. Since then, she has actively been participating in attending Saturday sessions to improve her life skills, cleared her property for its foundation and construction of her home, and has assisted in the construction of a home for another recipient of Hand in Hand housing program. All these activities are to foster a more responsible, responsive citizen in our community.
From the world stage of beauty pageants to creating a card game like no other, Miss Earth 2021 Destiny Wagner is back in the spotlight. Back in November 2022, Destiny Wagner did a soft launch of a card game she developed called Wagner. It is a 4-player or more game, rated M for mature, in which players compete to see who can select the best phrase from their hand of cards to respond to different scenarios from across Belize. Destiny is now ready to bring the color and character of the Belizean Creole language to homes across the country through her card game. News 5's Paul Lopez sat down with the entrepreneur in tonight's episode of Belize on Reel.
You are now crowned Miss Earth 2021! You are it! Congratulations, Belize! You are the Miss Earth 2021!
She is known around the world as Miss Earth 2021. Belizean Destiny Wagner has developed and launched a new card game that is all about the Belizean Creole language and its creative expressions. The name of the game is Wagner, and it's branded as the official card game of Belize. Of course, you remember this now popular phrase from the former Prime Minister, Dean Barrow.
Wish that you had turned back around, sir, to get your simple pills. That's what you should have done.
Or this viral expression. These phrases, among a variety of other unique Belizean Creole slangs, are captured in this card game. Wagner stopped by our studio in Coney Drive in Belize City to show us how to play the game.
So the name of the game is called Wagner, the official card game of Belize. It's very simple. Each player will get 5 white cards. You all have your 5 white cards in your hand.
Yes, we do.
And the dealer, which will be me, will read the black card aloud. You then must select the best card in your hand to answer. Okay. It's very simple. And I'll choose which card I think is the funniest, and they then become the dealer.
Okay.
All right.
So let's try it.
The first card reads, your Lisa started a fight outside. What you to say?
Started a fight outside. Me?
Clockwise, Ada.
Okay. Go far around me.
Okay.
In farm of the dead.
Don't ever me do it. Okay. So as a dealer, I will have to go with in farm a half a day. Because she said find somebody, your Lisa said find somebody. So the game was actually thought about during the pandemic. And I played a lot of games with my family because there was nothing else to do. So we had a lot of game nights, and then I realized that we did not have a game for Belize. We played Pity Pot, yes, but we needed a game of culture that celebrates our local dialect, our language. And so I was online and I started reading the Facebook statuses and the comment section in the news, and that's where all of these cards came from.
Teacher, they try a Lashu picnic. What you say?
Ah, come on now. Got this.
I was say, well, I know the claimant picnic, right? So I said, I didn't even know this person.
Oh my God. Me, I would say you're stupid or what?
I will get you fired.
Destiny has been promoting Wagner in Belize and the US by organizing and executing game nights. The first rendition of the card game was created on index cards, which she shared with her friends and family to get their feedback. It is through those comments and responses that she settled on the phrases that would ultimately make the final cut.
I think Belize, we're very diverse and we have a lot of characters here, and we're naturally funny, and I think sometimes we underestimate our characters and our personalities. So this was just a way of celebrating that.
So this is really your brainchild, and you've invested your own money to see it come to life. What has that meant and been like for you?
Well, I love my country, so if I can do anything to help and to celebrate us, then I will definitely take advantage of that and do that. And this game it does that. It celebrates us and it's a game for us, by us. It allows us to feel a sense of civic pride. It allows us to
something to brag about when tourists come here. Have you played this game before? When our cousins come from foreign, hey, let us play this game that for we.
Say your ex with a new base.
I was saying.
Say your ex with a new base.
What should have said, Destiny?
You look like you have a lot of picnic.
Oh my gosh. I want to say stop playing with people.
You're not tired of that, young girl?
Definitely. Stop playing with people, man.
As you can tell, a round of Way of the Set can make for a great time of bonding and laughter among peers. As a creative, this former beauty queen says she is ready to take on the world with her new product.
It was launched last November.
Okay.
So we've been very slow. We only had a couple of games at first, a few games, and we sold out instantly.
Really?
So then I was waiting to get a big shipment, and I finally got my big shipment in last month. So now it's time to push. I'm a creative and my mind is always running and moving, and I just want to put out my art. And I know that sometimes we stall as entrepreneurs and think that maybe it's not ready, but someone out there wants it. So I just wanted to put it out there and celebrate our culture.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Where the set can be purchased on Belize On. The University of the West Indies Open Campus, in collaboration with the Department of Youth Services and the Belize Police Department, hosted a presentation today on crime prevention and crime control. Deputy Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado and Kevin Cadle, the Director of the Department of Youth Services, led the presentation. They introduced the Leadership Intervention Unit, as well as the multi-sectoral approach to crime fighting and crime prevention to a group of UWI students. We spoke with Dr. Rosado following the event.
The multi-sectoral plan, we refer to it as an all of government, all of community approach. And we believe that once it is official launch across the country, because it will, at the moment, we are only implementing certain aspect of the plan. And once it is launched, we believe that it will address all the dynamics within the different communities. We are going across the country. In fact, we just went last night establishing a community council there, who will basically be the spearheading the initiatives in the multi-sectoral plan. While some of the guys them are involved in skills training, some of them are involved in temporary work employment, some of them are involved in developing marketable skills, all in an effort for them to be able to become entrepreneurs. And I believe with the last graduation that we had at the Tubal, the Minister of Home Affairs has already said that the government will provide a startup for them to be able to start their own business. And I think it is a good initiative because now they will become entrepreneurs. And we want to promote that. We want to develop their marketable skills so that we increase the opportunity cost of committing a crime. Because if the opportunity cost is increased, the likelihood of them committing a crime will decrease.
A man was found dead inside his vehicle this morning with a gunshot wound to the head. The discovery was made just off the Philip Gosen Highway near Sandhill Village. Investigators were called out and News 5 was at the location as they processed the scene. There have been quite a few comments made as to whether 33-year-old Justin Pollard, a call center employee, was the victim of foul play or whether he took his own life. While police have not yet indicated where their investigations are leading them, News 5 spoke with a brother of the deceased who preferred to remain anonymous. He said that Pollard was having some problems, but that he also loved his children and his family, and they will wait to hear what the police has to say.
He loved a very passionate person when it comes to his kids, a very loving brother, I could tell you, somebody who very understands, somebody who go to and talk to. Very easy, you know, and that's something where, you know, hit me hard now that he's not here anymore. You know, I am still in disbelief at this time.
The Senate debate over the 2023-2024 national budget saw parliamentarians for both major political parties and those from the churches and civil society underscore the portions of the document that they supported or had concerns over. For Senator Kevin Herrera, who represents the business community, there were concerns with the backlog of audits. He expressed hope that for next year's budget, there would be more timely audits on government funds.
I'm hoping that for next budget next year, we'll be further along with the audits of the government accounts. We want to, the Joint Public Accounts Committee has been working very hard, meeting regularly to try to push that process and bring it up to where we need to have it. And so we've had some commitments from the Accountant General that, you know, the accounts will be presented very shortly. And so hopefully we could be close to up to date by this time next year. I'm not sure about the audits part of it, but certainly from we've gotten that assurance from her that we'll be close to there with the accounts. We want to make sure that the audits will also, you know, be very close behind. I think the Auditor General has stated that she needs 3 months to complete an audit. So I guess we could just calculate we're about 5-6 years behind. And so it will take some time, but I think we'll be much further along by next year this time.
During the Senate debate on Wednesday, Senator for the NGO community, Janelle Chanona, thanked the Minister of State and Finance, Chris Koyi, Financial Secretary Joe Waite, and the Ministry of Finance team for meeting with the senators prior to the debate to brief them on the draft estimates for expenditure and revenues for the new fiscal year. But she also said there needs to be a better system of accountability for public funds and expressed appreciation for training that has now commenced among public officers who keep records on how government funds are managed.
Earlier this year, and as a part of the Joint Public Accounts Committee hearings, parliamentarians and the nation, because it was a public hearing broadcast, heard from key members, key voices of the administration, including the Accountant and Auditor Generals, confirmation that reconciliation of government accounts, approximately 8,000 of them, if memory serves, are not being reconciled as they should, both in terms of frequency and just practice. We call this out because it's not just a part of basic financial protocols, but it's also called for under the law. And perhaps just as significantly, no one is really being held accountable. It's a lot of finger pointing. We are comforted then by the update provided last week at that briefing that there are trainings happening actually right now, perhaps I know it's a lunch hour, so maybe in a few hours, that there are trainings happening this week for finance officers on reconciliations. So that's important to call out, that this is looking to happen or is going to be enforced and enhanced where it has been happening. Because Finance 101, Madam President, it's not just general practice, it's essential for landing at the actuals of the state of the finances. And as we just heard from the business senator, this is where we need to figure out where it is that we actually are, what we actually need to spend, what we actually need to call out. And so whether that's happening daily, weekly, monthly, it's also going to be key in revealing discrepancies, irregularities, where monies are being fleeced, and efficiencies exist.
When we return, women cane farmers boost their capacity and graduates feel schools.
High school students, are you ready for a challenge? Then get ready for BEL's High School Energy Challenge.
What I know about the BEL Challenge is that here we are going to be doing a quiz or a trivia on our knowledge on what is energy.
I first heard about the energy challenge when my teacher shared the link in our class group chat.
I'm pretty excited because I've always had a fascination with energy and electricity.
I found it interesting and as a great opportunity for me to learn more things about energy and about how I can use it. Also, the prize sounds nice too, so
This challenge interests me because energy is something that I've always been captivated by. Like when I want to grow up, I want to be an electrical engineer to work with energy.
I've actually registered for the challenge already, and I'll be studying for the challenge by going on the YouTube videos and on the Facebook links.
Register now at pel.com.bz/energy challenge. Log in anytime from Monday, March 27th to Friday, March 31st to complete the challenge.
And there was yet another mass shooting Friday night. Police have been narrowing down suspects. Meanwhile, the president will be meeting with the victim's family.
Just leave! I'm not leaving. You're pushing me.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Today, a graduation ceremony was held for a group of female cane farmers who successfully completed the Women Farmers Field School. Over the last 12 months, these women attended sessions out in the field at the BSI mills at Tower Hill, learning the theory and then practical aspects of the sugar industry from start to finish. But don't be fooled, because while they are housewives and nurturers within the family, they have been braving the sweltering heat and tilling the soil. News 5's Dwayne Moody found out today that women are oftentimes the brain behind the cane farming sector. Here's his report.
It might be difficult for you to believe, but over 40% of farmers in the sugar industry in the north are women.
Officially, we have over 2,000 women in the sugarcane farmer registry, officially. That's 41% of our entire farmers. Woman cane farmer. That is what we want to normalize, and we don't want people to think, oh, you know, women are not here. They are here, and these events are designed especially for that, to create the equity that we're talking about in Women's Month. Women in sugar cane farming, you don't hear about it, you don't see it on the news. You see the men chopping cane, but that's not really all that is cane farming. You will see these women at the bank. You will see them at the shop. You will see them at Social Security, paying their employees Social Security, and they are a critical part. They're sometimes the brain behind, and they need to understand, you know, all the agricultural aspects as well.
Today, an initial cohort of 11 women who started a field school last year proudly graduated from the program. They were taught everything from prepping the land to planting, harvesting, and even the processing at the mill and financial literacy. Agronomist Miguel Keme engaged with the women several hours weekly for the duration of the training.
This program is very important for them to basically know more about field, what is happening in field. Why do I do land prep? Why this variety? Or why I should plant the cane like this, or herbicide? And apart from all the activities that is being carried out in the field, also for them to know that it's really important for them to mind the accounting. So we had also a module which is called the financial literacy, which was the one of the last modules. So all the activities that is being carried on in the sugar cultivation, there was the profit. Is the last one. If as me as a farmer, I'm making money, I'm losing, or what I can do to accommodate in the situation like we are now.
San Pedro villager Berta Cobb has been farming with her husband in the sugar industry up north for over 23 years. With this additional knowledge of working the land and being able to account for their losses and profits, she plans to see improvements with their cultivation.
It's have been a long time of training, and we have learned many things that we can use to improve our crop, our production. And what we have learned, we will use it now when we are preparing to make our productions. We have been working with that before, but we got more trainings, and yes, we will use it to make our production be more productive.
The idea is for inclusivity at all levels of the sugar industry. It falls in line with the theme for Women's Month 2023, which is Embrace Equity.
Doing a man's designate job is not about being a feminist with a negative connotation, like an F word. Being a feminist simply means that we believe that women have equal rights, socially, politically, legally, and economically. Women cane farmers in particular play a critical role in this industry. Their contributions are often overlooked and undervalued, yet they are essential to the success of the sugarcane production industry.
A 5-acre plot was provided to the women with new sugarcane varieties to be able to have seeds for future planting. A new cohort of women will be selected for the program in the weeks ahead. Dwayne Muda for News 5.
Hershey's Chocolate Company and BSI provided the funding for the field school. The 5Cs, through the Green Climate Fund, provided the funding for the planting of the climate-resilient varieties. While women make up just over 40% of the registered farmers' population, 60% of male farmers are above the age of 50. Farming in the sugar industry is a traditional livelihood, and there have been efforts to have youth engage in the future of the industry. Cane Farmer Relations Manager Olivia Carballo Aviles told News 5 about engagement with youth by use of technology.
We have programs for young people as well. Actually, we have a Youth Tech Coach program where we pay the youths who are actually, they are more in tune with technology than us. So why not have them teach us? So that's the attraction, where they teach us about technology and the farmers. And so there's an exchange, immediate exchange, that they are able to come firsthand with the farmers to see what they are doing. Technology is a big way in which we can encourage our youth, and we have to bring in those changes in technology in this industry so that we're able to continue. Yes, we have over 60% of our population is over 50 years, and it is unique because, you know, the cane farming is a tradition and everything, but these older people are leaving their lands and their assets to their kids, and they don't know what to do. We have several examples of women, you know, having to take on the family business because they don't have another male in the family. And well, these are the programs that we create so that they are able to access the information, access education. Definitely youths are a big part of our program, and we'll continue to design and be sure that we include the diversity in our community.
There is good news coming out of the north as it relates to the 2022 to 2023 sugar crop season. It was off to a rough start with the issues surrounding a commercial agreement between the miller and the Sugarcane Farmers Association. But today, Belize Sugar Industry Limited is saying that over 500,000 tons of sugarcane have been milled, and the projection is that all 1.15 million tons of cane in the fields will be milled this year. There are issues with sourcing labor, but Cane Farmers Relations Manager Olivia Carballo Aviles is optimistic.
We are over 500,000 tons of cane, which is excellent. We are about 60,000 thereabouts more than we were last year during the same crop season or crop day. And so we are very excited about, you know, trying to finish all the cane. Several factors can inhibit that, as you know, weather, our grinding rate, and now we have a recent problem with cane cutters, really. So we are short of labor in the industry, and more so because we're able to grind a bit more. Farmers are sharing, you know, in the past we were able to put in 5 or 6 trips per week, and now we're doing 7 trips per week. So it's an additional trip per week, which they have to bring about the labor for part of it. But we have, again, technology in the industry already existing. We introduced the mechanical harvesting 5 years ago. We have proven that that works. And so we have a lot of interest from farmers in really assessing, you know, how they can do this in their fields. We've opened, today we're opening actually our call for farmers who wish to sign up to this program for next year. We have to look at their fields because their field conditions have to be assessed. And so we're opening that up for next year already. The ones from this year, well, we're managing to cut that, and hopefully we have some space to take in some additional requests that have come in already. We're not previously in our program, but really want to because of the shortage. We have to be able to look at all the ways in which we can solve this labor issue, solve the labor gaps, and make changes, operational changes.
As we reported last week, Belize Sugar Industries Limited saw its Fair Trade certification suspended following an audit back in January that flagged the millers for non-compliance. According to a release from BSI, the major non-compliance related to a change in classification of BSI in the FlowCert system. The other technicalities have been addressed, and BSI has submitted corrective measures, which News 5 confirmed today that have been accepted. Cane Farmer Relations Manager of ASR BSI, Olivia Carballo Aviles, says that the suspension should be lifted this week.
There was a technical issue within the Fair Trace, which is the reporting system that was identified during the audit. Had nothing to do with any of the association, does not affect any of the associations that we currently have an agreement with. So it really is a technical situation. We've submitted all our documents for that. They have accepted our corrective measures, and so we're just awaiting for the final information that our suspension has been lifted.
Okay. Any idea in terms of timeline as when that?
Well, we hope it's this week.
Up next, Port FC to take on Banca FC and Verdes FC in upcoming days.
At SMART, we embrace change, innovation, and equality. From energy and transport to telecommunications and network technology, our females are bringing their own style of leadership to traditionally male-dominated sectors and breaking down barriers for the next generation. Therefore, fostering our women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources is at the forefront at SMART. SMART celebrates all women this Women's Month under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
Stay safe and submit your sickness benefit claim form electronically. Follow these 4 steps. Step 1. Obtain your medical certificate. At consultation, the doctor certifies your days of illness and provides you with a medical certificate. Step 2. Fill out your sickness benefit form. Complete all the fields in parts 1 to 4 on the front page of the sickness benefit form. Step 3. Request your salaries record form. Contact your employer for your salaries record form. Step 4. Submit your sickness benefit claim form. Scan or take a clear picture of the sickness benefit form, salaries record, and proof of bank account. Email the documents to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz within 14 days. You will receive an email reply confirming receipt of your claim. After the submission of all documents, your claim is processed for payment to your account. For any COVID-related illnesses, contact the Ministry of Health for further guidance. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
High school students, are you ready for a challenge? Then get ready for BEL's High School Energy Challenge.
What I know about the BEL Challenge is that here we are going to be doing a quiz or a trivia on our knowledge on what is energy.
I first heard about the energy challenge when my teacher shared the link in our class group chat.
I'm pretty excited because I've always had a fascination with energy and electricity.
I found it interesting and as a great opportunity for me to learn more things about energy and about how I can use it. Also, the prize sounds nice too. So
this challenge interests me because energy is something that I've always been captivated by. Like when I want to grow up, I want to be an electrical engineer to work with energy.
I've actually registered for the challenge already and I'll be studying for the challenge by going on the YouTube videos and on the Facebook links.
Register now at pel.com.bz/energy challenge. Log in anytime from Monday, March 27th to Friday, March 31st to complete the challenge.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the Split the Bill button where he selects the Evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
This morning at the Biltmore, Belize Telemedia Limited introduced its latest offering, an all-in-one product called DigiOne. It's a quad-play service that includes internet and television, as well as other features. BTL's Chief Executive Officer, Ivan Tesakum, told us more.
DigiOne is a launch of our quad-play services, and what that means is that we are as our national telecom Digi, we are the only integrated digital service telecom provider. We're providing all 4 services on one digital platform. What are those 4 services? Those 4 services are mobile, which we call Digicel, your home internet, which is called DigiNet, your home phone, that is called Digitel, and now DigiTV. So really we're providing 4 services, and in the telecom space it's called Quad Play. And so we made history today because we're the only telecom service provider that can offer a Quad Play bundle.
Why did you guys feel it was necessary to bundle all of these 4 services?
One of the natural evolutions that we have in the telecom space is the fact that entertainment is something that is very valuable. Our lifestyles require that we also have some fun. And so TV, which is a natural element of what we have, is also coming over our fiber to the home network, which is DigiNet. So that is why we bundle everything together. It also allows for the ease and access for you, as we mentioned, to be able to not only cater to your lifestyle, but also to be able to have any bundle that you have, get savings and also value overall. So we're putting things together, and like anything, right, the more you buy of a product or the more you buy of some stuff, then the better prices you are. The same thing happens with the DigiOne bundles, whereby you're able to get more for better value and less cost.
What makes you guys believe it will be successful? Because we know most people, yes, they have the Digi-Wi-Fi and they have the data, but a lot of people don't have home phones, and a lot of people, they don't use a lot of TV, they watch Netflix. So what makes you believe in the success of it?
Well, one of the things that you will appreciate is the fact that we still have to watch local news. Think about it, Channel 5, Channel 7. So, you know, that is what also is in the package. But we also watch a lot of American TV. And whilst we've heard about this thing that you won't be, that you will not be watching TV, that has not happened. So we continue to have a strong product, and we believe that the value that you provide will also take it up. And so from there, we believe that it is a very valuable product because the price that you pay when you bundle it is cheaper. So at the end of the day, you will be comparing prices. We know that customers shop for value, and we believe that we will offer the best value at the best quality, most reliable, and the best service in Belize.
The Port Loyola Football Club has its eyes set on the Premier League of Belize's championship trophy. With only a few games left before playoffs for the closing season begins, Port Loyola FC sits at 2nd place with Verdes FC. Their excellent performance this season is a huge turnaround from what the team was able to achieve in the last season. This weekend, Port Loyola FC will take on Benque Viejo FC inside the Marion Jones Sporting Complex. Their highly anticipated rematch with Verdes FC is expected to be played next week, Wednesday. A couple of the players stopped by our studio today to tell us more about these matches.
So we have, we're in the second half of the season. We're playing against Benque Viejo. All right, we played them the first time, we drew with them 1-1. So now the rematch is here in Belize City at 4 p.m. at the Marion Jones Stadium. This season, it's been a complete 180, where we have turned it around last season at this point. Not to be too specific, but we didn't have this amount of points, nor did we have this amount of wins last season, no? So far, we are still undefeated on the field. So it's a major turnaround, you know. Last season we didn't even make the playoffs. This season right now we're front runners. We're at the 2nd place. We're tied with 18 points with Verdes, who has been champs for many seasons, and only San Pedro lead us, and we still have a game in hand.
We came to this club, and I think the only one game never made the playoff. So this is something that we want to do for Belize City. So we know what it takes to win a championship. We know what it takes to lose. We know all of that. So we put everything together collectively as a group and unite together. And what we want to do is really bring the championship back home to Belize. The last time the city ever won a championship, I was a part of that. So I want to come back home and I want to help these guys, especially the guys in Belize City, to know that, you know, we could put aside whatever crime or anything and we could win this championship. The game is Sunday. We're playing against Benke this Sunday, and I believe we might play the rematch with Verdes on Wednesday night. So that's the game everyone is anticipating, you know. And what I want to tell the fans and everybody in Belize City that we'll try hard to make the playoff, and when we get to the playoff, it'll be a different ball game.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.